What if the calmest cowboy on the Yellowstone ranch joined forces with its most dangerous couple? That's right. Lloyd is back, and this time he's riding with Beth and Rip. In a new spin-off that fans never saw coming, this trio is heading into uncharted territory. The most loyal wrangler, the fiercest woman, and the deadliest man, together. But why? What's the mission? And can even Lloyd handle the chaos that comes with teaming up with Beth Dutton? Stick around. This is the Yellowstone spin-off you didn't know you needed. Yellowstone isn't just a show, it's a full-blown phenomenon. What started as a modern-day Western drama about land, power, and legacy has turned into one of the most-watched TV franchises of the past decade. Created by Taylor Sheridan, the show has captured the hearts of millions with its gritty storytelling, breathtaking landscapes, and unforgettable characters. And now, with the original series wrapped, fans are eager to know what's next. The answer might just be the most surprising spin-off yet. While past spin-offs like 1883 and 1923 explored the early days of the Dutton family, this new story pushes us forward into the next chapter after Yellowstone. And at the center of it, a trio nobody expected to see leading a series together. Lloyd, Beth, and Rip. That's right. Lloyd Pierce, the wise, quiet cowboy who's been riding for the Yellowstone ranch longer than almost anyone. Beth Dutton, the sharp-tongued, fearless daughter of John Dutton, who burns bridges faster than anyone can build them. And Rip Wheeler, the enforcer, the bruiser, the man who handles problems before they ever reach the front porch. Together, they've been through hell and back. But this time, they're not staying on the ranch. They're heading into a new setting, with new battles, and likely, a new enemy. The details are being kept tightly under wraps, but early reports suggest the trio may be setting up shop far from their usual Montana turf. Rumors point to Texas, possibly tied to the 4-6's ranch, or even a completely new frontier. Wherever they're going, one thing is clear: they're not done fighting, and neither are we done watching. But let's pause for a second. Why this group? Why now? And why Lloyd? That's the magic of this spin-off. Yellowstone has always thrived on unpredictable character pairings, but this one feels different. It's not just about action, it's about loyalty, healing, and second chances. Lloyd isn't just a side character anymore, he's stepping into the spotlight. And with Beth and Rip by his side, the stakes are higher than ever. This new show isn't just a continuation, it's a reinvention. A chance to explore what happens when three broken, battle-hardened souls try to start something of their own. Maybe it's a new ranch. Maybe it's a new family. But it won't come easy. Especially not when Beth Dutton's involved. Now that we've set the stage, it's time to dive deeper. Who exactly is Lloyd? What makes him more than just a background cowboy? And why could he be the glue that holds this new story together? Stay with us, because in the next section, we uncover the full journey of Yellowstone's quietest hero. Lloyd. Pierce isn't flashy. He doesn't give long speeches or throw punches unless he has to. But in the Yellowstone universe, he's one of the most respected and quietly powerful figures in the bunkhouse. Played by real-life cowboy Forey J. Smith, Lloyd is the kind of man who lets his actions speak louder than his words, and that's exactly why fans love him. From the very first season of Yellowstone, Lloyd has been a steady presence at the ranch. He's one of the oldest and most loyal members of John Dutton's crew. While the other cowboys argue, fight, and sometimes fall apart, Lloyd stays grounded. He's been through the ringer, heartbreak, betrayal, even physical fights with his own brothers in the bunkhouse. But through it all, he's remained true to the brand. Literally. That Y-shaped Yellowstone brand burned into his chest isn't just a symbol, it's a vow, a promise to protect the ranch and the people who call it home. But Lloyd is more than just a background cowboy. Over the seasons, we've seen glimpses of his heart, his pain, his wisdom. In many ways, he's the emotional core of the bunkhouse. While Rip plays the role of tough leader, Lloyd is the one the younger wranglers turn to for advice even when they don't want to hear it. And when things go wrong, like when loyalty gets tested or when emotions boil over, it's often Lloyd who pays the price, silently carrying the weight of other people's decisions. One of the most memorable moments in Lloyd's story came during Season 4, when a love triangle in the bunkhouse led to an all-out brawl. Lloyd was pushed to his breaking point, feeling disrespected, forgotten, and cast aside. It ended in a violent showdown between him and Walker, one that nearly destroyed the brotherhood of the ranch. But what made that moment so powerful wasn't just the fight, it was what came after. Lloyd owned up to his actions, he took his punishment, and he stayed. That's the kind of man Lloyd is. He makes mistakes, sure, but he never runs from them. And that's what separates him from so many others. So when we talk about this new spin-off and ask, why Lloyd? The answer becomes clear. Because he's earned it. Because he's the kind of character who's carried the soul of Yellowstone without ever needing the spotlight. And now finally he gets his chance to lead. And let's not forget, Lloyd isn't just loyal to the ranch, he's loyal to Rip and Beth. That loyalty has been tested more than once, but it's never broken. He's watched Rip grow from a wild teen into the hardened man who enforces Dutton law. He's seen Beth burn everything around her to protect what she loves. And through it all, Lloyd has been there, offering a calm voice, a helping hand, or just quiet support when things get too loud. Now imagine that bond outside the ranch. Imagine Lloyd, Rip, and Beth on their own, starting something from scratch. A new ranch, a new crew, a new mission, without John Dutton to guide them or protect them. That's a storm waiting to happen, and Lloyd might be the only one who can keep it all from falling apart. In a world where everyone is chasing power, Lloyd brings something different, balance, and that's exactly what this new story might need. With Rip's strength and Beth's fire, Lloyd's calm could be the key that keeps them grounded, or the piece that finally snaps when things go too far. Up next, we dive into the power couple of Yellowstone, Beth and Rip. What drives them? What keeps them dangerous? And why does putting them in a new environment raise the stakes for everyone, including Beth Dutton and Rip Wheeler are the heartbeat of Yellowstone, but not in the traditional romantic way. Their love isn't soft, it's not clean, it's messy, brutal, raw, and often painful to watch. But it's also unbreakable. In a world where loyalty is everything, Beth and Rip have proved they'd go to war, or die, for each other. And that's what makes them such a dangerous pair. Beth Dutton, played by Reilly, is a force of nature. She's brilliant, ruthless, and emotionally unpredictable. Raised by John Dutton in a harsh, unforgiving world, she learned early on that vulnerability gets you killed, especially if you're a woman in power. Over the years, we've seen her destroy corporate enemies with nothing but a phone call. We've watched her survive trauma that would break most people. And somehow, she always comes back swinging. Tougher, meaner, smarter. But her heart? That belongs to one man, Rip Wheeler. Rip isn't just Beth's protector. He's Yellowstone's hammer. The man who makes problems disappear. From the very first time we met him, Rip has lived by a brutal code. Protect the ranch, protect John Dutton, and protect Beth. He's done terrible things. Killed, buried bodies, and taken punches without blinking. All in the name of loyalty. But under that tough exterior, Rip is one of the most deeply emotional characters on the show. His love for Beth isn't flashy. It's constant, unshakable, the kind of love that comes from years of pain and silence and shared scars. Together, Beth and Rip are unstoppable, but they're also unpredictable, and that's what makes their involvement in the spin-off so exciting and dangerous. In the main Yellowstone series, Beth and Rip finally got married, but their story was far from over. They had won the battle for the ranch, but the war was still ongoing. Enemies kept coming, the family kept breaking, And Beth? She never stopped plotting the next move. Now, in this new spin-off, it seems like Beth and Rip are done playing defense. They're taking the fight somewhere new. So what happens when you take these two out of Yellowstone? What happens when you remove the one thing that kept them grounded, John Dutton, and throw them into unfamiliar territory? You get a wild card. Beth doesn't know how to stop fighting. Even when there's no enemy in sight, she'll find one. She'll push buttons, she'll test people, and Rip? He'll stand right behind her, fists clenched, ready to back her up, no matter the cost. But the real question is, what do they want now? Is it revenge, a fresh start, or something deeper? There's speculation that this spin-off isn't just about a new setting, it's about legacy, just like John Dutton. Built Yellowstone to pass down through generations, maybe Beth and Rip are looking to create something of their own. A new ranch, a new code, a new crew. And if that's the case, then Lloyd, the old soul of the bunkhouse, might be their first call. Not just as backup, but as family. Because here's the thing. Lloyd isn't just some cowboy to Beth and Rip. He's their anchor. He's the one who kept Rip in line when he was younger. The one who stood by Beth even when she was at her worst. And if they're building something new, they're not doing it without him. But let's be honest, this won't be a peaceful journey. Beth's temper, Rip's violence, and Lloyd's aging patience, that's a volatile mix. And without the walls of Yellowstone Ranch to contain them, anything could happen. The fans are already buzzing. Will Beth take on a leadership role like her father? Will Rip clash with new enemies the same way he crushed old ones? Will Lloyd finally break under pressure, or rise as the wise leader no one expected? The possibilities are endless, and if there's one thing Yellowstone has taught us, it's that when Beth and Rip are involved, nothing goes according to plan. In the next section, we'll dig into what the spin-off might actually look like, where it's set, what stories it could explore, and why this new chapter could be the most explosive yet. Now that we've established who's at the heart of this new spin-off, Lloyd, Rip, and Beth, it's time to dive into what this new chapter could actually look like. Fans of Yellowstone already know that the show doesn't do things by half measures. Every twist, every turn, and every character arc is carefully crafted to keep us on the edge of our seats, and this new spin-off promises no less. First, let's talk about the setting. While we've spent most of our time in the rugged Montana, wilderness this time, it seems like we're heading out of the state's borders. Rumors are swirling that the trio could be setting up shop at the legendary 4-6's ranch in Texas. Known for its world-class cattle and deep ties to the Duttons, the 4-6's has been featured in past episodes of Yellowstone. But could this be where the new story unfolds? A place where they can build something new, or fight new battles. Alternatively, this spin-off could take the characters somewhere completely different. Imagine a small frontier town where the rules of the ranch don't apply. A place where Beth can't just bulldoze through everyone with her sharp tongue. A place where Rip's heavy hand isn't always the answer. Whatever the location, the dynamic between the characters will change dramatically once they step outside the familiar boundaries of Yellowstone. And that's where the real excitement begins. So what kind of stories could we see unfold in this new world? The possibilities are endless, but we can guess that the show will explore several key themes that have always been at the core of Yellowstone: loyalty, survival, and power. But it will also have room for something new. Maybe it's about building a new family, a new ranch, or even a new empire. Lloyd, Rip, and Beth will undoubtedly be faced with challenges that push them to their limits. Will they be able to create a ranch of their own, free from the shadow of John Dutton? Will they be forced to protect what they build from ruthless competitors or corrupt politicians? The show could delve deep into what it means to start from scratch, especially when you've spent your life as a pawn in someone else's game. One thing is for sure: betrayal is bound to play a huge role. We've seen Beth betray her own family. Rip's loyalty has been tested in ways that would break most men, and Lloyd has faced his fair share of heartache and disappointments. So what happens when the three of them are forced to trust each other and those around them in an unpredictable environment? Could the bonds between them break? Or will they prove that loyalty, even among the fiercest of warriors, can still be the strongest weapon? There's also the possibility of flashbacks. For those who want more of the past, the series could give us deeper insight into Lloyd's early years as a cowboy, maybe even exploring his life before he came to work for the Duttons. We might learn more about Rip's troubled past and what really shaped him into the man we know today. And for Beth, well, her backstory is already full of emotional pain and trauma, but a spin-off gives room to dive even deeper into what made her the hardened woman she is now. The scars she carries, both physical and emotional, could be key to unlocking the future, for better or worse. And of course, there's the tension between Rip and Beth. Now that they've finally made it, official and married, their relationship could face new pressures outside the ranch. They've fought side by side, but will they continue to work together as a team? Or will their past baggage and Beth's fiery temper bring them to the brink of disaster? Then there's Lloyd, the heart of this new spin-off. It's safe to say that his journey will be different from Rip's and Beth's. As the older, wiser figure, he might play the role of a mentor, not only to the younger cowboys, but perhaps to Beth and Rip as well. But he also faces his own challenges, being older and more experienced in a world that keeps evolving around him. Will he finally break from the shadows of the younger generation and carve out a space for himself? Or will his loyalty to Beth and Rip keep him tethered to their chaotic, dangerous lives? As for the antagonists, this is where the story could get really interesting. Every Yellowstone story thrives on conflict, and this spin-off won't be any different. Who will the trio face this time? Will there be new enemies in the form of corrupt businessmen, ruthless landowners, or even local law enforcement? Perhaps there's a more personal threat, someone from Rip's past or a long-lost family member from Lloyd's past ready to stir up trouble. Whatever happens, it will be up to Rip's violence, Beth's wit, and Lloyd's wisdom to see them through. Finally, as with every Yellowstone show, the family theme will continue to resonate. Will Beth and Rip start their own family, or will they remain focused on their war against the world? Could we see Lloyd taking on a fatherly role for Rip and Beth, or perhaps becoming a leader in a new community where his loyalty and calm could save the day? The possibilities are endless, but one thing is certain. This spin-off promises to be just as wild, gritty, and unpredictable as Yellowstone itself. So, what do you think? Will Lloyd, Rip, and Beth be able to thrive in a new world? Or will they burn it all down like they've done before? Let us know your thoughts and theories in the comments. And don't forget to hit that like button if you're excited to see this new chapter unfold. We're in for one wild ride, and we can't wait to watch.